The second case study we have here is on the opposite side of the spectrum. So about 1,200 or so employees, but opposite in that it's blue collar work. They're in the lumber industry, and they're predominantly male. So very much the flip side here, where, we're seeing, shift work, guys that are on the line, they're not sitting at a desk. They're not necessarily what we look at the female as being the healthcare CEO of their family. They're kind of the opposite. So it's a little bit of a harder to reach population. It's a little bit harder to motivate them to take action unless their spouse is kicking them at home to do something. And so we really had two goals or two challenges, opportunities with this particular employer. One of them was try to inspire and motivate them. And then the second was to streamline the administration of the program for HR. These are guys that would just come into the HR office, say, I did my annual wellness exam, give me credit for it, and slap a doctor's note down on the desk of the HR professional. And we wanted to really streamline the administration of the program to free up the HR team's time to not do that, also respect privacy between the employer and employee, and then also allow individuals, the actual employees, to engage real time in ways that are meaningful to them, and using an app to be able to track their participation. And so what we did here was that we, understood the company culture. We posted inspirational flyers throughout the work site, posted, the IFG for life, warning signs for sitting. So trying to recognize that sitting for prolonged periods of time isn't great for your health. That was all in the administrative offices. And then again, we moved online and had a robust mobile app to try to engage folks. So what we saw here is with over 8 years of participation and partnership, we went from 10% engagement to 60% and climbing as the program continues to evolve.
What's incredible is this case study here is the exact same company that Emily was just talking about, that MedSavvy has just started working with, and their goal is really to see what they could do about lowering prescription costs and educating their members about those costs. So we did multiple communication methods to the members, and one of those things that the employer did, which I thought was really good because they have multiple locations in a lot of rural settings, is that they made sure that each of their locations had Wi-Fi on site, because not all of it did, so that was not a barrier to access to using the app, using the program, MedSavvy, on their phone, so they could actually use it. If they have a question, they could do it now instead of putting it aside and asking and forgetting about asking it later. I think they really did learn from working with Emily's team, because there's mandatory meetings for the employees to show up, so that they would be educated and they would know about this information, so the new product that was available. And we also had some really big incentives. That was a big incentive that was targeted toward the male population. They offered a Traeger grill to these employees. And it was kind of funny, but it really did work in getting engagement. That was another tool. So it's like we removed a lot of those barriers with the employer, and getting that Wi-Fi access, getting it so the employee could actually access the product at any time while they're at work, and then having those face-to-face, so that communication barrier is removed. They were able to hear about it themselves and not secondhand, so that they all got the information first time about a new program that's being provided to them. The train the trainer was another thing. So they do have multiple locations. So they made sure that their HR team, had the same consistent message from the leadership down to each of the face-to-face, managers and the face-to-face HR people out at each of the locations. And that was definitely driven by the company leadership and supported by them. We did the similar information, or posting posters out on site. We had the benefits platform, the intranet. We also provided information. We did the home mailings. We did email invitations to those that did have their work emails. And, you know, so we had a lot of materials out there reminding them about a new product being available for them to take advantage of. So really what we saw was 45% registration in our product within 12 months.